No slowing down, so it's basically we just need to bang into it here. Okay, turn the computer off. And we're docked. Okay. So that's basically it. We have achieved at least part of what we wanted to do here. Out and out. We're gonna have to keep a little bit of fuel with this guy. I need to look up how much it's going to cost to get back down to Moho. And we got to bring those containers down, but that's good for now. We'll just sit like this for now. Leave this guy here while we head back to our other ship, who was waiting for Minmus. Waiting for Wednesday. Let's see, that's here. And let's see, our orbiter and Minmus are here. So yeah, we want to control this guy. And we want to be roughly when Minmus gets to here. So let's go ahead and crank up time again. And this other thing might actually happen first. The Minmus, I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. Looks like it won't be, though. Okay, let's stop here. I think we can start planning this guy now. Not the LKO fuel station. Minmus refinery. Switch to him. Minmus as a target. Yeah. Oh, we waited too long, I think. Add a maneuver here. Get ourselves out there. We should be close enough, though. Actually, that's really close. Close enough that we should be able to get an encounter. Sweet. Okay. Okay, you've seen this before. Now that I've got the encounter, I will see you when I get... Actually, yeah, I'll see you when I get to whatever you call it. Minmus. I figured I would show you this. I decided to decouple my scanner from the main ship here well before we got to Minmus, because I happen to have a fairly normal trajectory over one of the poles. So I figured, why correct for that and then have to correct this guy back to being anti-normal? Anyway, so I figured kill two birds with one stone. So I have a maneuver set up for the probe, which I'm actually going to rename. Then delete the maneuver node and it will redraw itself correctly. That's going to leave that stack separator in Kerbin orbit, but it's in a very wonky orbit, and I wouldn't be surprised if it either gets thrown out of the system or sent on a collision course back to Kerbin. We got plenty of fuel left. I forgot to add fuel lines here, but I was able to pump them using a new fuel pump mod, which allows me to it's kind of like TAC Fuel Balancer, only it lets you just right-click and say balance, and then boom. I'm not 100% sure what auto pump does. I clicked yes and no, and it didn't do anything, so I think that possibly either it doesn't work or I don't know what it does. But I still got plenty of fuel. I've got, 1,200 meters per second. So no bigs. I just need to make a couple more maneuver nodes and get myself into a correct orbit around Minmus. And then I will be back when we are there. Okay, while I was waiting for these guys to go out to Minmus, the Mand Return Sciencer has a maneuver node coming. And Cursony, who somehow teleported himself into Sean Wise's place. I might try to swap these guys around, but I'm worried that my editing of the of the persistence files is what caused this problem in the first place, and I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to cause worse problems by moving people around. I figure as long as you guys are doing stuff, you're happy, right? But yeah, so we are going to let's see, what do we want? We want, yeah, high over dray, low over dray, landed on dray is what we want these things for. I just want to make sure I remember what the purpose of all these things. So yeah, it's a 5.6 meter per second burn. It's going to be tiny. So I've saved, and I'm going to go right down to basically 0 hour here. If I remember correctly, there are actually 2 maneuver nodes for this. Just do this one. Might as well be exact. There we go, right around 0, which is good enough for me. Now when I delete this one, there's not another one. So I need to actually plan my Dre burn, which should be right at periapsis. And it should be just enough to get me out to Dre. Come on, give me my maneuver. There we go. And magic. I said magic. I don't see any magic. I know Dre isn't the easiest planet to get to. Okay, there's our near encounter marker. We move this guy a little bit. Looks like we're way off, and I don't understand why. Okay, we have an encounter. And as I normally do, as soon as I got the encounter, I stopped fiddling. Actually, normally, as I've tried to teach myself. As soon as I got the encounter, I stopped fiddling. The goal here is to execute this burn accurately. It is a 2-minute burn. And once I get the encounter, then go out to my second encounter, which is here. And actually, let me... Yeah, I need to... You know, I need to fix that. But the first encounter is good. The second encounter just needs a tiny bit of tweaking to get these guys to match. And then and obviously we're going to be doing the ore scanner stuff first, ore scanner and the refinery stuff first. But that will get these guys really close. So I'm going to fiddle a little bit more, and I'll be back when I'm doing the burns for the Minmus stuff. Okay, well, this is not Minmus, nor is it my ore scanners. The Dre return sciencer is going to do his big burn, so I figured, hey, that's why you're here, right? There we go. Big orbit around the back of the planet here. And here's our time. It's probably, I think I said it was a 2-minute burn, but I'm gonna quickly do the burn here just to see what it says. 2 minutes and 50-some seconds. It is it's a 2-minute burn, so at 1 minute out we want to start. And Cursony, who will probably be Sean-wise when we come back next time, is hitting the throttle now. Okay, now I will be back when something interesting happens. I had a crazy idea. You may not recognize this because last time we were here there were no rocks on the ground, but this is Gilly. I have a probe landed here that has a full tank of fuel. And I was thinking that I could bring that thing back to Kerbin and probably land it and get science credit for a ship returned from Gilly. So I figured, you know what? Why not? So I'm setting up a what do we call it? A transfer window from Eve. Let's see, Origin, Eve to Kerbin, which is in 60 days from now. So and it's tied to this ship now. So in 60 days, we're going to bring him back. And I also, just for funsies, realized the Eve, the Driloho probe is orbiting out here, and he has a tiny bit of fuel. He has a tiny, tiny bit of fuel, just enough, and actually let me aim him at this maneuver node. He has just enough fuel to do something interesting here. If we look at his maneuver node that I would do out here at Apoapsis, if I burn it, he'll swing in around the sun and get a Kerbin encounter. And I doubt I can land him, but I might be able to add some fuel to him, or even attach. I think I can attach a radial parachute to him even after I aero brake him, in theory, into Kerbin. It probably won't work because the burn is 423 and he has 442 meters per second. But I'm gonna try because that's what we do. So I thought that was cool. Anyway, that's all that's going on so far. The next thing that happens, we got a day or so before we're going to be doing anything as far as that's concerned. So I was going to sit at the Moho base and scan for stuff for a day, and I will be back when we're at Moho. Okay, we're back. And we're coming up to Minmus. We are 25 minutes away from our maneuver node, which will get us into an orbit. Let's go ahead and watch the joy here. Coming in low. Let's go ahead and close alarm and unpause. It is a 105 meter per second burn. It's about 10% of our stuff, so it's going to be about getting close to a minute, 50 seconds or so. Let's go ahead and do a test burn. 46 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to hit F5. And then, what was that, 40 seconds? It'd be about 20 seconds before, so 25 seconds before we will, Whoa, crazy time. There we go. It's a neat-looking ship. I enjoy this ship. Okay, we're just going to burn retrograde here, and I don't actually care about the maneuver node. All I want is an orbit. Once we get an orbit, I'm good, because I'm going to have to get it into kind of an equal orbit with the refueling station here, because I'm going to have to connect with him eventually. But I figure we're going to get an orbit, then we're going to go out to Apoapsis and actually do all the corrections and stuff for the orbit. But step one is getting an actual orbit. And there we go. And I guess out here we'll fix our angle here. What are we at? Negative 4.4. Let's turn off caffeine there. There we go. Positive 4.4. We got to come down, and that was way too much. 0.2. Let's normal it. 0.0. Perfect. Okay. The ship is so freaking huge. I like it. And then our ore scanner is going to come into Minmus Sphere of Influence in about an hour. And then we're going to get him into a polar orbit. Because we can't really do anything until we know where the ore is. And I have found some ore on the equator of Moho, which is nice to know. Although we don't have any current plans to send any ore drillers out there. I'm sure eventually I probably will. I will. But okay, we are 13 minutes away, so let's just go ahead and get up to it. 3-second burn. Pretty easy to do. Go ahead and give me this alarm. Do a quick save in case I time warp too much, but we'll warp down to 5 seconds. And now. That's got to be pretty darn close. Are we at 0 yet? Yep, we're at 0. Okay. Now, at our apoapsis, which is quite a ways out here, we're going to slow down, not speed up a little bit, until we are touching. Actually, it almost looks like we're going to be able to just get an encounter, which is kind of sweet. I don't think we'll be able to time it, to be honest with you. Yeah, we don't have the granularity to time it right. So let's go ahead and just where we are actually touching the orbit, which is right there. Let's make sure we're at the apoapsis. Although I think here, let's try this. This is a new button in the thing. Boop, put it right at the apoapsis, which is pretty darn toot sweet. And that gets our periapsis down perfect. So we will do that burn of 0.1 meters per second when the time comes. It is actually not yet. The next thing to happen is this debris, which we don't care about. And then the ore scanner, which I need to jump to and test and check it because I'm a little worried about its... You know what, I think I'm going to do this with RCS. 1 meter per second is going to be really hard to get perfect. If I use RCS, it'll be a lot easier. Let's jump to this debris. Actually, screw the debris. Let's jump to this and restore the maneuver node, the ore scanner. Because he is in Minmus' sphere of influence. There he is, cruising along. We should probably turn on his scanner. Might as well, so we know when he's in range. He's coming in from the south, going over the North Pole. That looks all good to me. I don't know why I'm just slowing down to get into orbit, because that's a pretty awesome orbit right there. The only thing I can think of is to change it so that it's matched up with that. And I think that's probably a good idea. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's 41 minutes away. Let's just crank up time here. Oh, that was 41 minutes away. We don't actually care about that, so let's just let it go. It is debris after all. 90 meter per second burn. Yeah, it's only going to be maybe a couple seconds. We are on the dark side of the planet, but yeah, we're rising. Let's see. So let's go down to, actually, let's hit F5. Now let's go down to about 5 seconds. Actually, I don't care about the maneuver node anymore. All I care about is, boom, getting in orbit. Okay. Now, out here, we are going to burn normal, and we don't actually care too much. So I'm just going to see where we're aimed. That seems very reasonable. Let's go ahead and kill that. Yeah, there you go. Orbit mode. We're close enough that it's in surface mode, which is funny. We want to make sure we can fast forward it 50 times here. And we can. I think, though, it's 12 that you can fast forward it 50 times. The ore scanner is the next thing in 17 hours, so let's go ahead and just fast forward it. I could jump back to Moho, but I'm not going to bother. Whoa! Oh, that's the alarm. Okay, it's 3 minutes from now. Okay, close the alarm. We are basically... I'm just gonna delete this maneuver now because we don't actually care about it. I am just going to burn until... Whoa. That was crazy. Okay, we need a little bit more. That right there is just about perfect. That right there is perfect. Okay, now we need to slow down so our periapsis is at 12, because I am almost positive that 12 is the correct number for the periapsis to... There we go, 12.5. Okay, now when we go here, we're going to want to bring this guy down. And again, we don't actually care about the maneuver node, just that we have it. But I'm curious how much it's going to cost to get this apoapsis down to 12. Looks like right around 17 seconds of burn. And it's not the next thing to happen, so let's jump to our refinery. Okay, and what is this maneuver node? This is to get this going, and obviously we're not aimed in the correct direction. And I think what I'm going to do here is get aimed roughly in the correct direction. And we are going to turn on our CS. We're going to set him as a target. If the game will let me... Whoa, it got kind of crazy there. Focus, Minmus. There we go. Set as target. And then he is... What is he orbiting at? 25 or so? I am just going to destroy this maneuver node. And we are going to... Where are we? 4 hours away? Yeah, I want to actually be over there, but... Yeah, I don't know... Oh, we just jumped to it. That's what it is. So let's go ahead and get ourselves aimed... I don't know. Let's just go this way. Basically, when I'm at apoapsis, I'm going to do this no matter what anything says. Okay. So now we're going to do this. I am going to wait for it to be lined up correctly. Then I'm going to turn on RCS, and we are going to thrust forward with the RCS to bring this periapsis down right there. Now our orbit actually touches that, and we're set like normal. So now let's speed up time so that everything zeroes out. Now here at our periapsis, we are going to slow down a ton, and then find a encounter, and boom, right there. Right there is the money. 0.3 kilometers. That works for me. So there's our encounter. And it'll be right at sunrise, which is perfect. So let's get ourselves aimed in that direction. Let's turn off our CS. There we go. Now let's turn off our CS. Now let's get ourselves aimed in that direction. And then we can do the ore scanner. Just getting stuff done. This has turned in from an exploration to an exploitation. We are less and less curious about the Kerbin system and more interested in finding ways to use the natural resources that are available to better the Kerbal race. Kerbin race, I guess. That's got to be good. Oh, look at that. There we go. Sadly, we're not on the correct side. If we were on the light side, it would probably be a little bit cooler, but still pretty darn cool. Okay, let's jump to the ore scanner. We're going to restore the maneuver node. Okay, we are 13 minutes away. Whoa. I don't remember how much I said this burn was, but I think 17 seconds sounds right. Let's go ahead and hit F5 in case I'm wrong. We're going to go down to 9 seconds before. And ideally, he is getting ore scans right now. He is! He's actually gotten a few of them, which is always nice. Let's turn on his scan tones and get ourselves aimed at this. And now I don't remember if I hit F5 or not, so I'm going to do it again. 17 seconds, so let's go down to about 15 seconds or so. Okay, 17 seconds, so let's do it now. It is not even close to 17 seconds, it's more like 2. So we'll go down to 0 and then just hit the gas when we get there. Okay, now we can fix the rest of this. Periapsis of 12, apoapsis of 12. You know what? We're going to leave it like this. Okay, let's make sure we can go 50 times. We can. We are finding ore. We're going to let this guy go. The next thing to happen, though, is in 10 hours. The Minmus refinery is going to be coming back. So when that happens, I am already sick of the scan tone. So we are going to turn that off. And we're going to speed time back up to 50. Oh, we can do 100, which is bad. We could actually be lower. Although lower wouldn't help too much because we're already getting little gaps here and there. So this is probably about as low as we want to go. How low can you go? But yeah, so we found some ore. We will keep finding more, I am sure. The Minmus refinery is coming in, and when that happens, we will hopefully by that time have at least a couple prospects. We don't have any prospector probes. I might send some up. But yeah, good times. And I also found a thing for Driloho too. I'm going to try to bring it back as well. So that should be fun. Well, this is all to get us to Eve in 50 days. Ideally, I want to build my Eve ship up here in Minmus orbit. That'll save a lot of fuel. So, yeah, sweet. All we got to do is bring some people up. Although I think possibly the people who are up here and have put the work into doing all this might deserve the ability to go in and be the first ones to go to Eve. But we also got our Eve Kerbin window in 57 days. So yeah, lots of good things are going on. Oh, I just noticed a Joule window's opening up just after the Eve window. So we have to have enough stuff in orbit to ideally to go to Joule. So that'll be fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself watching this. I think I'm going to stop it here. I've been playing for quite a long time. I'm going to count this as a successful mission. I'm going to come back and just chill out and sit here while I scan everything and get all this done. Because we have earned a tech unlock. I think we worked our butts off. Yeah, this one, there's just no reason for it right now. Wheels, don't really care. Yeah. None of these really jump out at me. I've been considering trying ion engines. Octo 2, I definitely want. More airplane stuff. I don't really have any airplane plans until we're flying to a planet that has air. So maybe Lathe. Maybe we'll try to bring a plane to Lathe. Yeah, the heavy converter unit. I think that's the one we're buying. And we're out of science again, so we gotta get some more. But anyway, so I'm gonna research this. Done. No tech nodes are unlocked. We've basically got this part of the tree is all that's left, and whatever's beyond this guy. But yeah, so we got the heavy converter, so at least we can do that. It's funny, we haven't even landed yet. Now we have a replacement for the converter. So maybe when we send more people up, we'll do that. So anyway, I am 5thHorseman. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I, as always, enjoyed playing it. I will, as always, though, talk at you later.